From the John C. Hench Production Arts Studios in Peoria, Illinois, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Kayla Neitz and Kyle Peck. The news with Aaron Morden and Danielle Heimski, featuring your Midstate reporting team. Sports with Katrina Baumgartner. Get Real with Nikki Garabrandt. Stephanie Robbins is on the beat. State of the Arts with Brooke James. Rebecca Williams is in the spotlight. Anna Tassi takes us about town. And About Crew with Noel Mefford. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine. Take it away, kids.
Good evening and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm your host, Kyle Peck.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Well, Kyle, I know we have a lot of things to talk about on this show. There's so much going on in the news right now.
There always
but
is.
First, I wanted to just touch on something that I found, which was really cool. Have you had a Red Bull anytime from 2002 to October of 2014?
I've never had a Red Bull in my life.
Okay, then you cannot qualify for this reward.
Okay.
However, anybody who has can get a $10 refund because they think that they've basically given false advertising. Just to clarify, Red Bull does not give you wings. If you drink it, you will not grow a pair of wings and you will not start flying away. But basically, I'm sure some dimwit out there decided that he's going to try to get money back for false advertising. And now you can go on their website. You can either get $15 of Red Bull products, or they will give you $10 cash.
Okay.
If you've purchased it, and you don't have to prove that you've purchased it. So actually, you probably could qualify for the reward because you
could?
Yeah, you don't have to prove that you purchased it at all.
Okay, so I mean, have there actually been people who have believed this story?
They didn't give any specific examples, but I'm sure somebody must have complained. Otherwise, they wouldn't be giving all this money away. So I would imagine that there was a good amount of people out there saying, "Hey, I didn't get any wings when I drank your Red Bull," and now they have to do this little campaign. So, but we'll get back to that.
All right.
We've got a lot of things coming up. Let's check in with the news team.
Good evening, and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Dale Heimski. Let's take a look at the news.
A 19-year-old man was arrested at O'Hare International Airport Saturday for allegedly attempting to travel overseas to support terrorism. Mohammed Hamza Khan of southwest suburban Bolingbrook was charged Monday with attempting to provide material to support the foreign terrorist organization ISIS. According to NBC Chicago, Khan was arrested without incident on his way to Vienna to fight for custody pending a Thursday morning hearing. According to a complaint affidavit filed Monday, federal agents found multiple handwritten documents that appeared to be drafted by Khan and/or others which expressed support for ISIS. If convicted, Khan could face a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
It's that time of year when the weather gets colder and people start getting sick. Flu season usually peaks somewhere between December and February, but health officials say they've already seen cases of the virus in the Peoria area. Health officials are predicting a bad year for the flu virus. They say now is the time to protect yourself, especially those with certain risk factors. Dr. Aaron Traeger with Advocate Medical Group said the best thing you can do for that is everybody over the age of 6 months should be vaccinated, especially the older adults and young people and those with asthma. The flu vaccine is made to protect against the 3 most common flu viruses, and some people are already taking precaution.
It's deer season, which means hunters are out looking for big game. But often, deer stray from the woods and onto roads, a scenario many drivers are confronted with every year. Steve Kieswetter with Kieswetter Insurance Agency recommends getting comprehensive coverage. Doing so will take care of your vehicle in case of storm, theft, vandalism, or animal damage. He also recommends being extremely cautious when going up hills and around curves when in deer territory. Auto insurance experts also suggest flashing your high beams at a deer that's motionless in the road. Remember that hitting the animal might cost you more than a few $1,000s, potentially the entire car.
Illinois Republicans are mounting what they call an unprecedented and costly campaign to purge ineligible people from voter lists. They are also recruiting their own election judges before the November vote, with polls suggesting Bruce Rauner in a virtual dead heat with incumbent Pat Quinn. Republicans have their sights on unseating a Democratic governor and winning back several congressional seats. Republicans have allocated $1 million in Cook County alone to examining voter rolls and recruited 5,000 GOP election judges to watch over polling places in heavily Democratic Chicago. In 2 counties east of St. Louis, the party is going through obituaries and tracking down death certificates to make sure the deceased are removed from the rolls.
Talk show host Jimmy Kimmel is the most dangerous man on the internet. Antivirus software maker McAfee said searching for Kimmel is more likely to lead you to an infected website with a virus or malware than any other celebrity name. According to McAfee, 19% of sites that pop up during a search for Kimmel are infected. Other dangerous celebrity names include Bruce Springsteen, Britney Spears, John Bon Jovi, Chelsea Handler, and Christina Aguilera.
Abby Barron, a Bradley University student, got quite the experience during her internship in Israel this summer. War broke out between Israel and Hamas just 2 days after Barron arrived in Israel. The special education major was in Israel for a month working at the Tel Aviv Center for the Blind. Barron says she got used to hearing sirens go off 2 or 3 times a day. She says the unexpected challenge in Israel will help her with her future career in special education. Now let's go to Katrina for sports.
Thanks, Danielle. Coach Mike Baer has made it his mission to make his team the best it can be. He has taken his Notre Dame soccer team to many different places to grow confidence and experience. With this in mind, Coach Baer brought his team to the championship game of the Gateway Soccer Classic. The Irish were in the championship after beating Christian Brothers College High and Sandia Prep, who are both considered having premier soccer teams. Coach Baer believes that the regular season is preparation for the postseason. That is why he has started to expand and strengthen the schedule for his team. This started when Coach Baer took over in 2007 and has helped considerably with the success of winning the 2A state soccer championship. Coach Baer hopes to bring his team to this success again this season. At Chicago's small private university, Robert Morris, they have come up with a new kind of scholarship. Morris created a scholarship for kids to play video games. This is not Pac-Man we're talking about, but the high-intensity realm of League of Legends. This game involves teams of 5 that fight against each other with mythical creators in a science fiction setting. The scholarship is worth a combined $19,000 and can cover up to half the tuition and half of room and board costs. The university has handed this scholarship to 35 students. Associate Athletic Director Kurt Meckler said that this is coming fast and is looming recognition to a bigger part of the collegiate sports world. On Monday the 6th, USA Swimming announced a 6-month suspension for Michael Phelps. The suspension came after the report surfaced that Phelps was arrested and charged with a DUI. This is the Olympic champion's second DUI arrest. Phelps will not be participating in any USA Swimming sanctioned meets through March 6th of 2015. Phelps will also not be allowed to participate in next year's World Championships. To help deal with this problem, Phelps has entered in a 6-week inpatient program. That's all for sports. Back to you, Danielle.
Thanks, Katrina. With the reopening of Kickapoo Bridge set for mid-November, many people are excited for less traffic. Nikki Garrett-Brandt has the story.
Since the spring of 2013, the bridge that crosses the Kickapoo Creek in Pottstown, Illinois, has been closed down due to its unsafe condition. But with a lot of hard work by the Peoria County Highway Department to replace it, the bridge is finally reopening. County Highway Engineer Amy Beneke McLaren has kept a close eye on the old Pottstown Bridge for many years, and she's certain it was about time it had been closed down for good.
The old Pottstown Bridge was built in 1950, and so it was not designed for current loads that we have on our semis and our large farm equipment. The weather, the freeze-thaw we have here in Illinois, along with the salt that we put on the roads to de-ice in the wintertime, it has not did any favors to that bridge. In the spring of 2013, we had a lot of flooding. We had to close the bridge. Shortly thereafter, when it was time to reopen the bridge, they were finding additional deficiencies within the deck. In this case, a repair wasn't feasible, so we went to the replacement option.
Construction on the brand new, safer bridge started earlier this year, but the Highway Department isn't the only one anxious for it to be completed. Over 2,000 motorists per day have been forced to take a detour route to avoid the construction.
The travel that the folks have to go around to avoid the construction site has been very detrimental to the neighborhood. The neighbors do understand why it had to be closed, but they are very anxious to have it open.
The bridge is set to reopen on November 17th and is being dedicated to Thomas McFarland, the former county engineer who helped make this project possible.
To know that the old bridge was taken down was a deep sigh of relief. It's very exciting to see a new bridge go in place and have that reopened for the public.
In Pottstown, for Midstate Magazine, I'm Nikki Garrett-Brandt.
You know, as someone who has to deal with Chicago heavy traffic, I am so happy for the townspeople that they got their bridge back.
Well, that wraps up Midstate for the week.
I'm Katrina Baumgartner.
I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Jill Heemsky. Have a great night and be sure to join us next week.
Thank you, news team. Well, Kyle, we've had a lot of things happen with the Ebola virus. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Thomas Duncan, the first person who was diagnosed with it back in September 28th, died recently.
First person to be diagnosed in the U.S., correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he died on October 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be the first person, but he has also been in contact with a lot of people. So I believe they're actually monitoring over 50 people right now because they know that they're either primary contact or secondary contact.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's 50 people altogether. But basically, I think there was 4 or 5 primary contacts, and from there, they all contacted the other people, which gave us a total of 50.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really just scary to me because we also have a nurse in Spain right now who just contracted the virus.
Yes. Her name was apparently Teresa Ramos, who basically caught it by looking at her suit.
Wow. Well, let's go to About Town, where Anna Tassi takes us to a place that's very popular during this time of the season.
Fall is here to stay, and for a man in central Illinois and his family, this season has a deep meaning.
I grew up on the farm with the apple orchard and that. And April 1st, 1964, the best thing I saw was this apple orchard in the rearview mirror. I went to Germany in the Army, and then they sent me to Vietnam, and so June 10th, 1969, I come home from Vietnam, and the best thing I see is the apple orchard in the windshield.
For Mr. Tanner, family always comes first.
You mean there's actually Tanners here? They thought this was a big conglomeration or a big corporation, but no, it's still a family business, and we hope to keep it that way for another few more generations.
Mr. Tanner oversees his wife, 2 of his 4 children, and over 20 acres of apple trees, while also raising pumpkins, squash, corn, and other types of produce, including fresh apples.
The Honeycrisp variety now has taken over the market. We'll sell probably 50% of the apples we sell fresh are the Honeycrisp. It's really taken market share from the Golden Delicious to Jonathan Red Delicious. But we've noticed this year that Red Delicious are coming back into popularity again.
Don't forget to stop by the market and bakery for some lunch, and also take some homemade desserts, pastries, or fall decorations with you to go.
A lot of apple cider donuts is one thing we're noted for. People drive a long ways for the donuts.
In the farmers market, you can also find newly picked apples, pumpkins, and the best sweet apple cider around town. There are free samples right at the front door, and I promise that you won't be disappointed.
It's a family affair. It's something for the whole family to enjoy. They can pick their own apples, pick their own pumpkins. We have something for the whole family, for dads, moms, kids, and it's just an enjoyable outing.
For the little ones and the kids at heart, there are many farm animals like goats and chickens that can be fed throughout the day, along with plenty of other areas like the corn maze and park, where you can take pictures, play, and make fun memories all day long. For more information about hours and location, visit www.tannersorchard.com. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Anna Tassi.
Thank you, Anna. Kyle, have you ever been to Tanner's Orchard?
I have not. Have you?
Yes, I actually just went this past weekend, and it is fabulous, let me tell you. Okay, so the first thing I went and did was go to the petting part. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't actually do any petting because the goat was giving me a weird look. So I stayed clear.
Okay.
I stayed clear of that one, but I did throw some food, kind of at him. Yeah.
Okay.
So I stayed kind of clear of that. But basically, after the petting part, you can go and you can buy a $10 bag or an $18 bag, and then you fill it up as high as you can with any apples. You've got the Granny Smith apples. When I went, there weren't any Honeycrisp.
Oh no.
Which was pretty disappointing
to me.
I
love Honeycrisp apples.
It's my favorite as well. But definitely my favorite part of Tanner's Orchard is the gift shop place. They've got so much different food in there and different things to sample. You can obviously try the apple cider, like Anna said, but I actually tried it, multiple times. I kept going back for the samples because it was so good.
I'm guessing it was really terrible, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, right. Okay. But so if you haven't been there, you should definitely try to go there as soon as possible during the season.
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of food, I just heard a story about the fast food places. Basically what they're doing is people have noticed that they're taking longer. When you go into fast food, it takes a little bit longer to get your food.
Right.
And what they said is the reason for that is because they've actually put in more health codes and more health standards. So we'll get right back to that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's check in with Nikki to see one of the latest movies on Get Real.
Hi, I'm Nikki Gearbrandt, and welcome to Get Real. Today we check out the latest in film noir. Gone Girl stars Ben Affleck as Nick Dunn, a man suspected of murdering his wife Amy, played by Rosamund Pike. It's not a spoiler to tell you there's no happy ending to this story.
Well, Amy, who are you?
That's the question you'll be wondering when you see Gone Girl. Who is Amy Dunn? Is she the person her husband describes on TV and during press conferences when she mysteriously goes missing on their 5th wedding anniversary? Or is she the person we read about in her diary? Or is it neither? While you're trying to get to the bottom of that, so are the other characters in the film, including the persistent, no-nonsense detective Rhonda Boney, played by Kim Dickens, and Nick Dunn's loyal but not easily fooled twin sister Margot, marvelously portrayed by Carrie Coon.
So I'm sort of the confidant and rather the cipher for the audience, kind of the audience's way into the movie, I think. Because I'm sort of voicing all of the opinions that people have in the seats that they can't say.
Surprise twists are integral to the movie, so without giving away any spoilers, let's just say that Nick and Amy's marriage isn't as happy as they portray to the rest of the world. But cast members have found that men and women often feel differently about how the characters deal with that unhappiness.
I mean, I think it's an examination of the inherently different perspectives men and women have on the relationships that we build.
But I wouldn't recommend using this film for marriage counseling.
I'm the guy to save you from all this awesomeness.
If the movie appears to be exceptionally true to the book, that's because the screenplay is written by book's author, Gillian Flynn. Another one of her novels, Dark Places, has also been adapted for a feature film and will be released in 2015. That's it for this edition of Get Real. I'm Nikki Gerbrandt, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Nikki. So as we were saying about the fast food, do not be concerned that your food is taking longer. It is actually a good thing. It means that they are taking healthier standards and, you know, making sure that your food is clean and prepared and not just sitting under a warm lamp all day.
Yeah, I would like very healthy things too.
Exactly. So you have a little bit story about Dancing with the Stars?
Yes. You've heard of Alfonso Ribeiro?
Yes.
Yes. He was the guy who played Carlton Banks in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Uh-huh.
He performed the awkward Carlton dance, Carlton dance. Recently, and it's apparently a very iconic awkward move where it's just basically his head.
I remember
his head
he would
moves
do
around and starts moving his hands around like this, and it was really great.
So did he? Because I know he did that all the time in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he was in the show. Mm-hmm. Did he do it impromptu?
Yes.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to check in with Griffin on the Street Team.
Hey, it's Griffin from Street Team, and since we're in the midst of football season, we decided to ask some people some NFL trivia. Are you a football fan, and if so, what's your favorite team?
Chicago Bears.
Probably the Bears.
Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears.
I am a football fan, and my favorite team is the Indianapolis Colts.
What year was the NFL founded?
Somewhere in the early 1900s.
1925.
Close, 1920. In what state is the New England Patriots Stadium?
I don't even know.
New England.
New England's not a state, it's a region.
It's in New England. Foxborough, Massachusetts.
There we go, we even got the city. Who won the first ever Super Bowl?
The 49ers.
Is it the Steelers?
Cowboys.
Give me a hint.
They're from Wisconsin.
Green Bay Packers?
Yep. Can you name all three of Florida's NFL teams?
The Panthers, the Dolphins.
One of them is like an aquatic mammal, one of them is a pirate, and one of them is a wild cat.
The Miami Dolphins, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Dolphins.
Yep.
The Jaguars and the Buccaneers.
Yep. What is the name of the Super Bowl trophy?
The Heisman?
That is a football trophy.
The Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Yep, there you go. How many Super Bowls have the Bears won?
3.
6 or 7.
15.
1.
And what year was it?
1985.
Here's a good one. What's the name of Oklahoma's NFL team?
The Oklahoma Thunder.
Oklahoma. See, I know this, you know, I'm just put on the spot here.
They don't have one.
They don't have one. I knew that.
I see what you did there. That was a good one.
For Street Team, I'm Griffin Sassano.
Thanks, Griffin. Speaking of sports, I actually have something very interesting. The Jacksonville Stadium, the Jacksonville Jaguars have the Everbank Field, and apparently their stadium has now implemented a poolside in their stadium. It's basically about $2,000 per person, where you can skinny dip in this pool and basically look at the Jacksonville Jaguars play against an NFL team on the side view of the stadium.
Okay, and that's $2,000 to get that seating.
It's about $2,000,
Now,
if not more.
In the actual stadium, or are you watching it on a screen? Like, are you in the pool watching it on a screen, or you can see the stadium?
You are in the pool watching it live.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm going to have to check that out. I definitely won't be spending $2,000 to skinny dip and watch a football game, but I'll have to check it out. But, you know, speaking of football season, we're still talking about the fall, if you want. I don't know if you like haunted houses.
Haunted houses? Here and there, yeah.
Here and there? Okay, I love haunted houses. I mean, I'm pretty skittish for about a week afterwards, but I do like them. And I just saw today on the Peoria Journal-Star's website that you can see tons and tons of different events that they have coming up in the October season.
Okay.
If you like haunted houses. I mean, the list goes on, and they'll have the dates, how much it costs to get in, everything like that. And I know there are local universities. I know Bradley University does host a haunted house every year.
They do.
So have you been to that one?
Not to that one, but...
Okay, well, maybe we'll have to check out the other ones.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Brooke and our special guest on State of the Arts.
Hello, and welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Brooke Janes. Today we're pleased to welcome Tracy Furling, a Bradley student who is studying music. She has performed in several ensembles on Bradley's campus and specializes in vocal performance. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
And you have someone else here that we should just mention. Who's
I
that?
do. This is Kinza Hagerup. She's a collaborative piano, music business, and composition major here at Bradley, and she's also my roommate.
Oh, wonderful. Are you guys both seniors?
We are, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And when did you start looking into music or studying music?
I started when I was in high school. Around my junior year, I started taking private lessons and singing opera and doing more classical music, which is my favorite thing, I think, to do. It's more technically difficult, so it's more fun.
Yeah. Are you going to be performing an opera piece today?
I'll be performing Ole Giadri Occhi Belli, which is known as an aria antica, an antique aria from an opera that's so old nobody even performs it anymore.
Okay.
But it's often performed as an Italian art song now. And it's got kind of an interesting background if you'd like to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the text is all in Italian, but like any good Italian aria, it's all about unrequited love.
Okay.
So the singer is talking to his or her lover and saying, I love you so much that I'm in this constant state of anguish and torment, and I can't understand why you don't love me back. And the interesting thing about this song is that you'll hear in Kinza's piano part, she's playing these constant quarter notes, almost like a heartbeat.
Okay.
And there's this like serene kind of calm atmosphere.
And we'll be hearing that heartache and everything in the piece?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Would you mind giving us a little taste of what you do with Kinza there? thank you both so much for being with us. That's all we have for this week. Join us next week for more talent from around the Peoria area. For State of the Arts, I'm Brooke Janes.
Thank you, Brooke. That was incredible.
Yeah, that
I always
was.
think people who can sing opera are very, very talented just because so few people can do it in the first place. I know I just heard a story about Mariah Carey, not so much about Mariah Carey, but it reminded me of her because she's such an amazing singer as well.
Right.
Her ex-husband, they just got divorced, Nick Cannon. He used to have a tattoo of her on the back, it said Mariah,
Yeah.
and he just recently covered it up because tattoos are very much so permanent.
Right.
So he just put a much darker, thicker, wider tattoo over her name because they are no longer married. So what
That's
do you think about
unfortunate.
that? Would you ever tattoo somebody's name on you, or is it too risky?
I don't know. I think that's just extremely risky.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm not a tattoo person, but I
Mhm.
would like at least have some sort of memento to remind me of that.
Sure.
And if that didn't, if that relationship didn't work, I'd keep it, but I wouldn't just throw it away entirely.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think tattoos are very expensive and they can be very tasteful. I actually do really like a lot of tattoos. I think they can look really nice. But I don't know if I'd ever do a name just because you never know, and there's been too many people where they've had to cover it up
Right.
or something like that.
Yeah, you'd never know with that. Speaking of which, speaking of the arts,
Mhm.
actually, actor Robert Downey Jr. told David Letterman that there is not going to be a new Iron Man.
Really?
There's not going to be an Iron Man 4. However, he did say that he was still going to be involved with Marvel Studios' next big pictures, like Avengers 2.
Gotcha.
But as
Okay.
of the future, he's not sure
So
yet.
no more Iron Man.
No more Iron Man.
Gotcha.
Period.
That's kind of a shame. I really enjoyed the Iron Man movies,
I did too.
especially with Robert Downey Jr.
I did too.
because he's so funny.
Yeah.
So that's a shame for me. But we saw Gone Girl. But have you ever seen that before?
No, but I do want to see it.
Okay, I did see it.
You did?
I won't give anything away.
Okay.
But it's very interesting. You have to have a special kind of personality to really get into that.
Okay. Okay.
I don't like scary movies. I wouldn't
That
say
doesn't seem scary.
it's a thriller.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Okay.
So I'll be interested to see what you think about it.
Right.
If you go and see it.
Yeah. Well, that's all from Midstate Magazine for this week. I'm your host, Kyle Peck.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.